Okay, this is Scott Lowry with the Georgia Fast Pitch Coach Association of Georgia. Had the honor and privilege to work in a workshop for the NFCC with head coach from Liberty, Dot Richardson. We got to talk a little bit. She's graciously accepted our request to come and give us a little of her knowledge and expertise in the sport. She played at UCLA in college. She was the NCAA Player of the Decade for NCAA in the 1996 and 2000 Olympic team, and orthopedic surgeon at the same time. That's got to be time consuming.
Well, it took a little while past UCLA to become an orthopedic surgeon, but yes.
Yeah, that takes a lot of work. So, and she's current head coach at Liberty. What I wanted to ask you, Coach, with all the experience, everything you've done, why more education?
I was told by my first women's major coach of the Orlando Rebels, her name is Marge Ricker. She says, remember this, Dot. The day that you think you know everything about the sport is the day you should hang up your cleats. And it's something that resonated with me in my life. That's why the amazing, awesome opportunity coaches have to impact the lives of others. And it could be one word. It could be one phrase. It could be one moment. And when Marge told me that, and I was a 13-year-old, I just remembered I need to continue to have that passion to learn, to never cease searching for excellence. And knowledge is something that it's an intangible that you just can't measure. And so I'm excited. As a player, continually striving to be the best I can be, to reach my full potential, and it's the same coaching. When you have a chance to learn from others, let alone we've learned from legendary coaches.
Yes.
It's something that says, I think, a lot about you as an individual, but will help you to be able to, as we talked about today, pay it forward to give to others, because the game's only going to get better the more that we as coaches get more knowledgeable and better and pass it on to our players.
And the life lessons that are learned from softball.
That was a long answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, the passion,
Yeah.
and that's what makes you the person and the player you are.
It's all about life lessons. Really, it's a sport. I was so blessed to have a long career. I mean, I was 39 years of age when I stopped playing, and I could have played even longer, but I realized, well, maybe I should start practicing medicine and get married and move on with my life in that regards. But, you know, there's so many life lessons. You take it on both in surgery, outside in society, and on the field teaches us this thing.
Well, the game has changed. Obviously, the makeup of the 1996 Olympic team and the makeup of the current national team probably don't look similar in the makeup of the players and what have you. What have you seen in the evolution of the game? Mm-hmm. Are we moving in a good direction? We seem to be having a lot more influence from the baseball people, the Major League Baseball we're looking at, as opposed to going to other, just softball people. What do you see evolving in the game?
Well, it's a great question. In 1975, I saw the last wooden bat ever to be used in our sport of fast pitch softball. I saw the first white cleats at that ASA Women's National Championship in Salt Lake City, Utah, to be worn. White cleats. That was like, whoa. And to see the evolution, we had a white ball. 40 feet away was pitching, the pitching distance. Fences, there was no restrictions in the beginning. They couldn't be too shallow. But all of a sudden, the changes in the game from collegiately, I was 15 years old when I was drafted to the first ever women's professional league. I was drafted to the Connecticut Falcons.
Wow.
And at 15, I didn't choose to go professional because they just started giving scholarships out for women in athletics, collegiate athletics. And to be an Olympian, you could not be professional. Mm-hmm. So in high school, I played volleyball, basketball, softball, track and field, and tennis. I played them all, loved them all, and I wanted to be an Olympian, and I also wanted to go to college. In the state of Florida, it was only slow pitch in college. So I knew I was not going to go to a college in Florida. Mm-hmm. And I'm sharing this with you in regards to the transition and evolution. If you look at the AIAW, which is the Association of Intercollegiate Athletics for Women, that organization of women organized the collegiate women's sports. Then in 1981-82 academic year, the NCAA, the men, decided that they would recognize women's sports in their family of the NCAA. So UCLA and some other colleges decided to leave the AIAW and join the NCAA. Once when that happened, the evolution of women in sport collegiately was very visible.
Took us more seriously.
Yes, but women were not getting the positions of higher, they were becoming assistant executive directors or assistant associates. But now you're starting to see, you could look at Pat Summitt, how she talked about from where she started as a female coach in basketball, having to do everything to where she, brought the new modern day NCAA. Look at now, even with ESPN coverage, everything. So the biggest evolution is now a yellow ball instead of the white ball, still 12 inches. The distance went from 40 feet to 43 to get more hitting. In my humble opinion, I think that hitters are 100 points higher in their batting average now at 43 feet than 40. The other is the distance of the fences from minimum of 190 down the sides to 220 in center. And as I share this with you, remember, when I was 15 years old and I was drafted to the first pro league, those were the exact dimensions and yellow ball with red seams of that pro league. So those women who became coaches in college started bringing that to the college game. But I always chuckle because the first NCAA championship, we were there, UCLA, playing Fresno State. Margie Wright coaching for Fresno State, Sharon Backus for UCLA. And I'll never forget looking, the dugouts had no roof to them, no ceiling. And so ESPN came and put down plywood on top, had a folding table, put it on top of that third base dugout, right, with 2 chairs for the commentators, and maybe 2 cameras, maybe. This was the first ever softball NCAA Women's College World Series championship game, UCLA versus Fresno State. And as I see that evolution of where the popularity, we always knew was there as players and coaches, but once when TV got there, which 1996 Olympics catapulted everything, including college ball, to where it is now.
When I first realized what a great game it was.
Yeah, and I tell
Watching you and Lisa.
When someone asked me, they asked me, what do you think about the 96 Olympics? What does it mean to you? They call it the Title IX Olympics because for the United States women, when volleyball, indoor, outdoor, also we won women's basketball, soccer, softball, a lot of women sports in the Olympics in 96 won gold medals for the United States of America. But when I'm asked about it, I don't think of it as Title IX, which hopefully everyone knows, an amendment providing opportunity, whoever receives federal funds, has to be able to equally between race and gender and others provide opportunity. But for me, I looked at it and said, this is a moment in time when I believe everyone fell in love with athletics, no matter what gender, male or female, and the women's sports was catapulted to another level.
And it is a different game from baseball. It looks the same, but it's a faster game and a quicker game.
I have yet to meet someone who says, after they've watched women's fast pitch, even girls fast pitch, to say that I prefer to watch baseball over it. Most of them have said it's so fast, it's quicker, and they're the same strategies.
Yes, and that's what started the Olympics. The Olympics, that international flavor, all of us sitting at our TVs with daughters who were interested in a sport and something they could be involved in, that really got us. And y'all were such great ambassadors. I'm not going to be standing here with Pujols discussing Major League Baseball right now, but these people give back to the game. You not only got for the game, you gave to the game.
Well, another evolution, and I'm not sure how long this segment's going to go, but let me tell you, my first business card, when I started to do instruction, said there's more to the sport than just pitching. That was the tagline. And what you see now is the instruction from men and women. That's the key. You can't just have something, here's men, women. The separation, obviously, but the support needs to be all of us united. Boys and girls, men and women. And, to me, I see so much instruction on hitting and specialists on fielding, even now specialists with outfielders, with slapping. And that is what is really helping our sport as well, and girls get better.
the class started from a much higher level than we used to start with the clinics that we came to get to. We're not talking about bending over and just picking up a ball anymore.
Yeah.
We're talking about the nuances, the small aspects of the game. All right, in the game, we spoke a little bit with Coach Edwards about allowing the players to play. Are we micromanaging our athletes? Are we spending too much time with minutia and not enough time letting them think and run with the game? What are your feelings about that?
Well, answering this question, I will as a player, as an instructor, and as a coach and a fan. All of our time should be in practice, because once when the game starts, it's showtime, baby. It's showtime, baby. And our goal is to make sure fundamentals are sound, because I'm telling you this, and write it down. I have learned in a lot of years, it doesn't matter what level you reach in the sport, the team that usually wins is a team that executes the basic fundamentals of the game. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what level, Olympic level, professional, it doesn't matter. So our job as coaches and instructors is to help make sure the fundamentals are sound, but then also build the mental fundamentals of the game, keeping the passion, the desire, the visualization, the ability to focus, zoom focus on the task at hand. And if we can do those fundamentals, not just physical, the mental, that kid is just going to feel a sense of freedom to say, check me out. They should be on the field saying, check us out, check us out. And this way, if they don't, they're going to be so worried about mechanics, these little things, and what people are going to think about them. And that, to me, is what I love about coaching, is when you can get a player to walk a little taller, to feel a little bit more comfortable, and to have that feeling of expression through the game. Sweetness.
That's what you're making me want to get out right now. I'm going to hit the dirt.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to go to the dirt.
Body
Go
for
ahead.
ball, baby.
I'll hit
Here we
you
go.
I'll hit some grounders,
Love it.
Coach. All
I
right.
love it.
All right. One last thing. If you could say anything to your incoming freshmen, all right? One thing that would help them prepare for that first year of college, what would you tell an incoming freshman ready to make that jump, ready to move to college?
Now, first is specific things for kids that are wanting to go to college. First, do you want to go to college? You got to decide, do I want to go to college or not? If I want to go to college, do I want to be in-state or out-of-state? In other words, do I want to be close to home or not? The other is, why do I want to go? Do I want to get a degree in what? Do I know what I want to be, or do I know I just want to further my education? Then the next thing is, do I want to play softball? Do I want to play sports? Do I want to be in the band? What do I want to do in college? The other thing is, once and you've made those decisions, you got to say, do I want high academic standards? Academics are always at a standard, but there's some, you can look at Ivy League, how high of standards do I want, and how important is the level of athletics? You know, if I want high academics and high athletics, here's this type of school. Do I want to have low student numbers per teacher or professor? Or do not mind? Because at UCLA, you're walking into a lecture hall with 300 people and one instructor. And then they break you off into these little groups to try and get you with the teachers' assistants helping you. But there are other schools you'll go in and it's just you, 12 of you, and here's a professor with so much education. You got to decide. Big classrooms, little classroom. The other is the size of the school. The different divisions basically are determined by that. The other is, do you want a Christian environment or not? Liberty University, the largest Christian university in the world. You know, is that an environment you want? You have a lot of other schools, you know, like that. But I tell you this, we as coaches need to prepare, and as parents, our daughters and sons, to be able to be so confident that they are special. And here's the thing, God has made all of us equal in his eyes. And the sport of softball teaches us that we all are different for a reason and a purpose. And there is not one person more valuable than another. Different roles, but the value is the same. We're family. I'm 5'4.5". I've had teammates that are 6'4". I can't do what she can do, but she can't do what I can do. We have got to enter that freshman year and beyond knowing that God has given me these gifts, he's given me these opportunities, and I'm ready. I'm ready to seize them. And it's not for other people. And I'll say this for me. we need to be more concerned about what God thinks of us than what other people think of us. And young girls are they want to be loved so badly that they will even do things they know are wrong just to try and feel accepted or a part of a group. And they know it's wrong. So if we as coaches can let them know they are special no matter if nobody is around them, that they are the ones that can say no and stay to their morals, stay to their beliefs, that God has a plan for them. That's the message that we need to give them. Because if we don't, you'll see these kids going down a road that is self-destructive. I mean, from suicidal thoughts to cutting to, impurities, sexual drive, all of these things happen because no one has taken the time to say, you're special exactly the way you are.
Wise words, Coach. Wise words. And we have to realize that that's part of what our job is to build people, not just softball players, build people, build responsible adults, and move them on and hand them off to you where you're ready to take them and make the most out of them. Well, I know you got a plane to catch. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing? Anything in particular that?
Well, in closing, that is really the beginning, is thank you for all you do. You may never get a thank you from a parent or a player, but I'm thanking you, and remember that you are so special. And the difference that you make as coaches and instructors, a coach will impact the lives of more people in just one season than a lot of people do in their entire life. You're a mentor. Sometimes you're another parent. You're an instructor, you're a teacher, just keep doing what you do because it is making a huge difference in the lives of others. So appreciate it.
Inspirational, Coach. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, all right.
absolutely.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
I've followed you forever, and I'm just so glad to get to meet you.